album does not have Mark Knopfler on it, but it does have a lot of drum machine on it.
Yeah.
This is 2000 dance electronic album Sound of Silver by LCD Sound System. It's funny, both of your albums were very dad rock. This is music made by a dad. Surprisingly enough, he was like 38 when he released this record. It's a sophomore record. And it is probably one of my top 10 favorite albums of all time. I think that this album goes so hard. There's so much different like variety in it. Some of the songs aren't even like dance songs really. Like New York I Love You is just like a straight up rock ballad. I think James Murphy's production, his ideas, his like weird out there sort of like instrument choices, like cowbells sometimes. The so I would say unconventional way that he plays his instruments, like in All My Friends. It's just, he's playing octaves on a piano for the entire time, but it works. I mean, it doesn't seem like it should work, but it works. I think every single song on this record is a banger. They're all very different. Like North American Scum is like a cool, fun party song, and it's followed up almost immediately by Someone Great, which is just like this touching sort of memorial to a dead friend. I don't know. I love this record so much. I could talk about it forever, but I want to hear what you all think about it.
So there was a time, so at my first job, they'd play music all the time, like in the background while we worked, and they would play a lot of LCD Sound System, and I got like so sick of it. I was like, so I don't know, because it's like the way, like how the songs are, they're kind of like repetitive, like at least like lyrically or in grooves, but I don't know. I guess when you're like hearing it in the background, I was just like, oh man, you just get that way when you're working somewhere like that. But like, I always knew it was like, great music, like at the same time. But anyway, so I just would never like go out of my way to listen to it. But listening to the album, it is an amazing album. It is an awesome album. I think it's probably good that I, took that long break before listening to it again. It's you're right. I think like the whole album is what's so great about it is each song feels like its own thing. Yeah, it feels fresh every song. Like you said, like things you don't think would work, like just work, and like you're just like with the beats and the little like touches they have. It's just like you're like, wow, what is going on in this song? It's just like, what is that? I don't even know, but it's cool. I like it. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this album. I think it's really creative, and it's basically like the Talking Heads, the new age Talking Heads, basically. It's a lot of influence from that. But in its own, if when this album come out,
2007.
2007?
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, it sounds like 2007. But yeah, man, for 2007, what a great album. So loved it.
Damn, you stole my point, man. I was going to talk about Talking Heads. I listened to this and I was like, wow, that sounds. But no, you totally hear the influence, which is awesome. Talking Heads are amazing. Yeah, this album is really really cool. Yeah, like Tim, you were saying that there's a ton of variety. I was thinking about like what I would talk about with this album. I was like, huh, it's hard to say because like there's so many there's so many like dance moments, like Someone Great and All My Friends are like dancey, and then North American Scum is just like I love the way that song is written. It's so cool. I was listening to this album while cooking yesterday and just absolutely jamming out. So good stuff. I've never really listened to this. I just kind of missed it. So really fun to go back. I think New York I Love You is my favorite song on it though. It's just there's something about that song. Like
the end that
brings
really
out so
helps the end of the album. Yeah, it's caps this whole thing. I love that.
So I really like Sound of Silver too. It's like weird and electronic.
Sound of Silver, talk to
Goes
me.
into tons of different
Makes
places.
me wanna feel like a teenager.
Yeah, that'll get stuck in your head.
Yeah, I could like see that song being played at like 2 a.m. in a club, and you're just like, what is happening? um, so yeah, super cool. I definitely need to listen to it more because there's so much to unpack. There's just like every song really has like so many different layers to it and is so different from each other. So yeah, really, really, really good album.
I want to like highlight James Murphy's sort of like different vocal styles. I don't think he's the greatest singer of all time. But I think that he has like a really wide range of like just different types of singing. Like Time to Get Away is like he's a funk singer, right? He's like going up into the falsetto and then warbling really weird. And then, you know, North American Scum, he's just sort of like yelling and talking. It's almost like talk rapping ish. Someone Great is just really heartfelt. He's got an excellent, you know, sort of vocal delivery on that. And New York I Love You is sort of the same way. I don't know. I think he's a really talented guy. I went to go see him at Pitchfork a few years ago. Well, maybe like 10 years ago. And me and my friends were waiting for him to come on, and there were like a bunch of middle-aged dudes with beards that would come on the stage, and we'd be like, "Is that James Murphy?" And it wasn't James Murphy. And then another middle-aged dude would come on the stage. It wasn't James Murphy.
How to like set things up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for years after, anytime we see, you know, a middle-aged man with like a grizzled beard, we'd be like, "Yo, that's James Murphy over there." But no, it's funny you say that because he said, you know, he considers himself to be like a sort of washed up, grizzled, sort of David Byrne kind of guy. He's very he's an odd fella. His career is very non-traditional. You know, his first album came out when he was 35. And the big hit on that record was Losing My Edge, where he talks about how he's not as cool as the kids anymore. And then he just released like 3 albums. They were all really great. I think this is probably the best of the 3 of them. And then he took like a decade off. And then he came back with one more album. He was really just busy, you know, like touring and writing and stuff. He was so busy, in fact, that David Bowie asked him to produce a couple songs on Black Star, and he was like, "No, I can't. I'm sorry, man." And he wrote a song on American Dream about like, "Man, I fucked that up. I should have been, you know, appreciating the people that I love and look up to while I can, you know, before they die, right?" But yeah, I mean, like, I think this is one of the most unique albums I've ever heard, but it's also one of the best. This is top 10 favorite albums of all time for me. This is a 10 out of 10 for sure. I don't think there's a bad song. I think a 10 out of 10 is a record where there's no skips, and this one absolutely does not have any skips.
Thanks for watching that video. If you want to watch more of us talk about music, check us out. We got a lot of awesome videos for you to listen to. And like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And let us know what you thought of this video down in the comments below. We're always chatting with people who have an opinion, and we love it. So, see ya.